Now we got back into the game here, Doc Williams. We have the Brand Doctor Show. This is the second time we had to attempt this because, man, if Riverside likes to crap out on you in the worst possible moments, I tell you what.
Are you blaming Riverside? Is it your internet or is it Riverside?
It's my microphone being micro USB and being finicky as hell. I got a nice fancy cable for it, and yet the micro USB cable just does not like to one tiny little twitch, and it basically shuts off the mic. And Riverside, unlike most tools, anytime you change the mic, it stops the recording on my side, and it just like resets it. So that's a little rant about Riverside at the beginning of this call, folks. But I just moved. I'm on vacation time now, all that jazz.
What do you think about the Fi-Fine mic? If I got you a Fi-Fine mic, would you switch out than the one that you're having?
So fun fact, when I started doing YouTube, I bought a Fi-Fine mic and I used it for a long time and it kept clipping really badly to the point where if you look at some of my early recordings on PolyInnovator, I could never fix the audio. It doesn't matter how much I changed the gain, anything like that, it just always clipped. I've had issues with this clipping too because my gain would be too low. But even on that one, I couldn't have it too high either because then it would be too loud. The new Fi-Fine mics I hear good things about, and I actually am using a Fi-Fine arm, but I'm wondering if I should, because really I just need to get a USB-C mic in general, regardless of the brand.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I might get you one for a move-in gift.
Oh, thank you. My birthday's also in like a month too, so we'll double it up.
Extend it a month out. What are you talking about? A couple days, a week, maybe next month.
No, it's birthday month. I turned 30 this year. It's a birthday month.
I'm not even going to go into it. You will let me see what I can do. Send me your address. We will do these things. So what's going on with you, man? What's been happening?
So we're actually reaching the end of all of my scheduled content from all the Blitz and all that jazz, which is kind of interesting. I just checked on the Ghost website, and I think all my posts have gone out, which is surprising because I thought I had at least like till the end of May. But all my blog posts are basically now done out there. They're not done. I still have a lot more, but I don't know. Other than that, how are you doing?
Pretty good. I just got back from a conference. I was in Lincoln, Nebraska. I have never been to that state, never been anywhere near there.
Never going back.
It's very interesting. The Omaha airport was a sight to behold. But in general, it was cool. A lot of interesting. It was a all directors meeting. So basically a publicly traded company. All of their directors were there to learn about AI. I was doing a presentation about building your digital twin. Very interesting. Very, it puts it in comparison of where people are with AI, what's hot, and then also how are big corporations incorporating AI into their business. And people are just really trying to keep up and trying to see, they don't want to be left behind. So that was pretty interesting. And I've never been in contact with such a big corporation with decision makers that what they're doing. For example, there was a department that had their R&D budget, just one department had $25 million a year. Another person, another division, I was like, oh, what does this person do? What's going on here? And they're like, oh yeah, we just opened a new division. I'm like, what kind of division? Yeah, we're just now opening banks. I'm like, banks? What? They're like, yeah, no, that's what we do now. That's another stream of income, opening banks. So it that's just a different world that I'm used to with creators and startups. These are legitimate businesses that have tons of capital, and tapping into what they're looking for is very different than what I see on Twitter and startups and coming out of YC. So great experience. Happy I'm home, but really great experience going out there.
I was gonna say, if you drove out there, you should stop by Missouri. Come on now.
Listen, I've driven from. I had to drive someone back from Missouri once to where that's a long drive. That's a long drive.
It's like 16 hours.
No, only plane rides only. I'm sorry.
So it is interesting to think about too with the whole AI copy. I actually was going to mention that I have not done a lot of digging into AI tools in the last year or two. Whenever we first started talking about tools, I was really into it. I was always finding more and more AI tools, playing with them more importantly. But that makes me glad that we have these conversations, Doc, and also checking out your channel from time to time too, which if you guys are interested should be linked down below. But to learn about that, and I think having an AI clone is something that a lot of people are going to take advantage of in the next 10 years, but not enough people are going to take advantage of it in the next year or two. And people who do are going to benefit, first mover.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we were talking about, like, a lot of people think it's sci-fi right now, but I was like, it can mean your process, your workflow, and it could be AI avatars and different things like that. So basically, I took them through the rabbit hole of using things like chat-based, which is basically like a custom GPT or chat GPT.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's like HeyGen, and then there's things like Rendora, which is one of the sponsors of my channel. But it was interesting because I was working with some sponsors. They're like, hey, mention us. And I was like, yeah, we can. But a lot of people are at the very beginning. They're still trying to understand workflows, understand like, really, I feel like almost basic automation with AI assistance, not even AI. Like, they're over there. Like, I'm talking about AI avatars, which are bigger in Korea and China and Japan, but in America, it just hasn't taken hold yet. It's the same way I think of a couple of years ago. I think this is when we first met. It was like live streaming in China. They were live streaming so much more than America. And now the online shopping and the live selling is now hitting America more. But like China and Japan and Korea were still 3 to 5 years ahead of America easily. And I feel like it's the same way.
I was trying to find another creator who, like, I've been seeing him make more and more videos of the AI clones, and I'll have to send it to you or share the screen here in a little bit if I can find it. But it's interesting to think about too. I was watching a video about how China, for example, is also beating us in like 30 out of 40 categories, right? When it comes to like electric vehicles, and then obviously AI and all these different engineers and education. And it's like we're losing the Cold War, if you will, in that regard. Although I see as if we all work together, it's better. That's my philosophy. But obviously, there's a lot of contentiousness there. But the idea of just like even AI, like DeepSeek came out of the water swinging and basically beat ChatGPT like there was no other. And people are still getting too, I would say, political about it, when it's like, hey, if DeepSeek's going to be better for you and your business, then you should use that tool. Just saying, if it's going to make you accelerate past your competitors, that's more important.
Absolutely. And I think that's another, and even with DeepSeek, like, you can run it on your own servers and things. Like, so many people are like, oh my goodness, it's in China. I'm like, listen, bro, they already know everything about you anyway, because you talk about it online. Just calm down. But I think also too, what I've seen is a lot of people just don't know how to organize information, don't understand like structure of identifying what's giving them overwhelm and then looking for solutions. A lot of people, I saw two people that knew about it. They're like, I go on Hacker News and I'm on like X, and they're like, how do you keep up with it? I'm like, I'm on those things plus Product Hunt, but I'm like, you have to look at what you're trying to solve first. What are you doing? Because there's too many tools, there's too many workflows, there's too many theories to try to do everything. And so it was a really good experience of showing, like, I think a lot of people, and I mean, we've talked about this before, but so many people are trying to create the next big thing of the next SaaS, the next this. Go to the place of where people are struggling, and it's an existing business, and you solve their problem. Like, it seems so basic, but AI and these tools are going to make it easier to do this, but you have to actively listen and not deal with, easier said than done, shiny object syndrome. But these people, I saw someone at the conference, it was AI solar. All they do is calculate how many solar panels does a house need, and all it's doing is doing OCR, which just means it's taking a picture, it's determining the dimensions, and then giving you a quote of how many solar panels you need on your house. This thing, they're charging, I think they're charging different businesses a couple $1,000 a month just to have the protocol to take pictures for their business. Like, so I mean, come on now. So you could do that. Any kid, probably a 14-year-old or younger, could probably do this and sell this. It's just amazing. I'm like, stop trying to find all of these. Stop trying to create all of these new dating apps. Stop doing it. Like, just go and figure out someone's problem.
I'm not sure if the audio will share, but I did find the video, by the way.
No audio yet.
Okay. It's probably going through my headphones. But it's his voice. I interviewed him on this same channel, and I'm not sure if he threw it into Opus for the B-roll and captions, but the lip syncing, his head movement, it's all from the AI.
Really? Send it to me.
Even the voice is his AI.
What is he using?
That I couldn't tell you. I probably should go ask him, to be honest. My bad.
That's so cool. What if he's using HeyGen or something else?
That sounds about right. I haven't talked to him in a long time about it, but HeyGen or maybe synesthesia or something like that.
Yeah. HeyGen's really gotten a lot better at this. It's good. It's good stuff.
One thing, a couple things I wanted to mention that it's kind of fresh on my mind on a different note, Doc, is first off, we talked about Facebook Marketplace when we first got on the call. And that's because, I mean, I got my bookshelf on there. I even got this shelf and this monitor and my new bed frame and the patio furniture that I have all on Marketplace. And I actually, the light I'm using right now, and I even got a new light, which is not plugged in yet. I got all on Marketplace. Half my gear, I've got it on Marketplace, right? And this microphone arm too. My point is that I'm trying to drill home is that as a creator, it's hard to afford different equipment. Yes, I bought a new camera, and that's something that's going to cost money. But even this microphone, I basically got for free. So essentially, what happened was I had an old TV. It was 1080p. It was nice. It was nice and sharp. You know, good pixel density. This guy had kids. He wanted to put on, you know, TV shows for his kids in the bedroom. Cool. He had a mic arm and a Blue Yeti mic arm, mind you, and a Blue Yeti X. And I asked if I could just, you know, give him $20, trade him the TV, and get both of them. And I was able to. The Logitech light bar that I have, I got for $30 when normally it's $99. That little Logitech square light that I just showed you on the camera, that was also on Marketplace for $15 instead of like $50 or $60. And it's insane. That bookshelf was $50, and like that was kind of expensive, but it's a really dense and sturdy bookshelf. So these are things that, as a creator, help me out. And even the monitor was only $100, and it's a smart monitor with a remote and everything, right? And so as a creator, we can go on there and find this equipment if you're paying attention to it, and that'll help increase your production quality.
I love that. I am about to go on Marketplace right now. I don't go on Marketplace, honestly.
I don't go on Facebook except for Marketplace, and every once in a blue moon to go on a Facebook group.
I will just say this one thing, that it is amazing to me that Facebook has just capitalized so much on Marketplace. Like, it is amazing that even though a lot of people, they're like, I don't do anything except Marketplace, that it is made it so much easier and safer, I feel like, than Craigslist. And so just
like Let Go, even something like that.
Yeah. It's just amazing how they just came into the market and just dominating it. Which also
I bought 2 things today.
Did you really? Yeah. Do you pick up things a lot in public? Yeah. Do you go to their house? What do you do?
I generally go to their house. I think I usually meet in public when I'm selling stuff, but when I go buy stuff, I usually just go to their house.
That's so interesting.
I don't like porch pickup, which is pretty common, ironically.
What does that mean? Is that
It's like they just leave it on the porch and you leave your money on the porch, or send them Venmo or something like that. I think you put it underneath the mat or something like that so people aren't going to steal it. But it's like, I don't like that.
No.
I want that face to face.
This is interesting. I'm just looking at these Logitech things.
I always search like Logitech, Elgato, you know, microphones.
I really should.
I got my standing desk that I have now, and my microphone arm, or monitor arm, I mean, all on Marketplace.
And it was all local pretty much?
Yeah.
Like, was it in your town, or did you have to go far?
I don't go outside my city.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. I love it. This is very interesting. Yeah, I'm seeing some Elgato, like, game captures. This means people have been leaving. $40 for the Elgato Camlink 4K.
I got mine for $20.
Ooh. See, now it's getting competitive out here.
I'm not trying to compete with you. I'm just saying, like, I got mine for $20, and it's the same product. And the fact that, like, you can get these products that normally cost like $100 for so cheap, because people are moving, especially since I'm in a college town. It helps out a lot. All the college kids are leaving now. The other thing I was going to say to you, Doc, is, like, you obviously don't want to spend money on stuff you don't need, but if you pay attention over the course of time, you know.
Yeah.
Did you move your setup a little bit closer to your back wall?
No, not really. No, actually, everything is exactly the same. I have a different light now.
You're also centered.
I do that because of you, and you make such a big deal about it. But no.
Because it's all about the framing.
No, everything exactly the same. And no, but with the arm, I've noticed no, everything else is the same. So I might change. I changed my light fixture. Now that's another thing. I was watching a better on lighting, and I guess what is it?
You are still pretty dark, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm getting another. I'm working on it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going for the vibe lighting. I'm thinking about it. So by the next time, in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna have more lights basically to test this out. Because when I'm doing late night streams, when I'm up late anyway, I don't want to have bright lights on me. And I get bad migraines if I have too many lights and everything. So I still got to figure out what to do, all of those things, but to be continued. We'll see what's up.
Well, and that's why one thing I saw on lighting is that you have your main light, which I have at the same direction as the window too. So that way that's flooding my face, but then you have a secondary light, which I still haven't plugged in yet, but I'm hoping that would kind of just illuminate the darker side of my face. And I will have it at like, this one's going to be at like 80%, but that one's going to be like at 25%.
Yeah. I think it was, is it Harris Heller? Is that?
Yeah, he talks about it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it might have been his video that made me think about it, but it was another creator too that talked about it recently.
I gotta look at it. We'll see what happens, but no, my set, this. I try to change my set almost like yearly or every 18 months, almost like it's different seasons on a show. You change your don't even talk. I don't want to hear about yours. I barely. It's gonna be different next week. Yeah, mine are very, very slight. I'm like, I'm adding a new toy here. I'm adding.
I already don't like this. So, but I want the bookshelf to be in the view because I got all that cool stuff on there. I got some dragons. I got two dragon statues. One of which I got from my uncle. I got all my books. I have the Grogu. I have all my tech. I want to be able to show off all that stuff.
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
But I also want the gaming setup to be in the view too, because I'm also kind of probably like start hopefully streaming more from my console. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Xbox Connect V2, which is a pretty wide frame of view camera, and you can hook it up as a webcam to a PC. I'll have a little mini PC in the Xbox, and then I'll just stream from there, just sitting down. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the microphone situation.
What is it? EPOS? What is it?
EPOS Vox?
Yeah. His has changed quite a bit, but his is massive. I mean, the amount of stuff that he has in that stuff, I'm like,
it's kind of a hoarder in that case.
I'm like, I got you, but I think he's really leading into the retro like 90s stuff, which is cool. But I'm like, it's too much for me. Like that's too much anxiety, like that stuff. No, I need to have it clean. But for his style, it works. It looks good.
I'm even thinking like I'm aimed too far down. Like I'm showing too much of the floor and not enough of me. Like I need to be higher up in the frame.
Yeah.
The problem is my monitor. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick. There is a cool product that you attach to the back of your monitor. It's a Visa mount thing, and I've been thinking about getting it myself, but I need to probably just get around to doing it. And essentially, you can mount your cameras on top of it. I think I sent it to you before or showed it to you before, but it's pretty interesting. Let me see if I can hide my address. No. Let me open up the image in a new tab. Here we go. And then let's share screen. And there's one other topic I wanted to talk to you about too, particularly, and that's internet service providers, because that is something that is fresh on my mind, sir.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so this is the mount, and essentially you just put the back of the monitor here, then you mount your cameras and lights and stuff like that up here, and it goes over your monitor. And that way, whenever you move your monitor, you're moving your camera too. Because right now I have my camera on a pole, but if I move this too far forward, then it covers the screen. You see?
That's interesting. Let's see. Did you already buy it? That's the thing you already have,
I'm going to. No, I'm going to, but right now I just have a monopole that's like clamped to my desk. It's also where my light is mounted to.
That's interesting. That's
Because technically this stand came with the Logitech light bar, and then I bought this literally this last week. It's like a little separation thing, so I could mount another camera and my light. Although I'm having issues with my computer, I told you before, where it's like the fan is running really hot or high, I mean, and I feel like I've been pushing the USB port max, and that's one reason why I have issues with my microphone connectivity. I feel like as well, so I can't necessarily plug in another camera because this camera that I'm using now sometimes just doesn't work randomly, and I switch ports and it's fine.
That's that's annoying. That's
Yeah, I think
annoying.
it's just because like it is a mini PC, but like theoretically it should be fine. It's just getting too overwhelmed. The USB controller must be like pretty crappy in there or something like that.
Let's
Thoughts
see.
before we move on?
No, no, this is good. This is good.
So, one thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is that internet service providers are very territorial. And I think it's easier to start off with like the cell phone service, for example. You have T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon, and then from there you have a whole bunch of spin-off stuff, and even Google Fi. But Google Fi mainly just uses T-Mobile's lines or towers. And so you have the pink, you have the red, and you have the blue. And then if you look at a coverage map of your city, you'll see them kind of sprawled out and basically encroaching on each other's territories. And then usually there's not much overlap for the most part, but it's which is kind of surprising, which means you're using other companies' towers, which I don't know. It's just one of those things where, if I go to my grandma's house in town, my T-Mobile signal's gone. I had nothing. It's insane, and there's only a handful of blocks going the other way. And then and when I was downtown before, I would have mediocre signal. When I had AT&T, it was full bars. It's crazy to me how that happens. The same thing happens though when you have internet providers. So in my town, we have MediaCom, which I think is by Comcast or whatever, and you have Spectrum, both of which are cable-based internets, and MediaCom also is starting to build fiber. But then there is CenturyLink, which is like CenturyTel, and again, one of the big owned by one of the big companies down the if you go down the chain a bit. They're called Brightspeed now, and it's weird, Doc, because Brightspeed and CenturyLink or whatever, they have really crappy customer service, but they have some of the best internet in town, and they have the best coverage in town. They have a competitor named Socket, which is more of a smaller company, local, but they either have to use CenturyLink's lines, and you have to pay the premium for that than yourself as the customer, or they have to go into their territory, which is not. It's usually more outside of town. They focused on like the suburbs essentially. So it's very interesting the dynamics of internet service providers and the territories.
Did you? How is it for you? You mentioned a few in a text message of what happened, but
So I'll explain it here because I don't mind telling the internet. This is stupid. Essentially, I had hell with MediaCom before, which was cable-based internet. They told me I was going to get fiber, and then they basically lied. They like told me multiple times. I didn't even bring it up. They brought it up to me that I'm going to get fiber, and then whenever fiber was finally supposed to get down, they're like, "Oh yeah, you're not getting that." Cool. And so I had bad latency issues, bad issues over time. So I did not want to have that company in the new place, the new location. The new location, I could finally get Brightspeed, CenturyLink, which allows me to get fiber. Not only is it twice the speed, half the latency, and it's half the cost, which is crazy, Doc. That's a gigabyte up and
yeah,
down, right?
yeah.
Fiber. They came last week, and then or this week, something like that, and within the last week, and they said, "Oh yeah, the wire is kinked. We can't actually give it to you today." And I've been waiting 2 weeks, mind you, for this dog. So I've been without internet. So I haven't been making any content, which is what I alluded to at the beginning of the call. And that's something that I need to fix. But I should have been working on stuff offline. But essentially, I've been without internet, and I could have just gone to T-Mobile, got a mobile internet from them the same day, and I should have just been using that the last 2 weeks. I'm kind of mad I didn't, which is why I'm telling you all this now. So when you move and you have internet issues, please learn from my lesson. I did actually get the T-Mobile internet, which you can see right there.
Yeah.
And ironically, now they're going to fix the cable on Friday, and then they're going to come up next week to give me the internet. So the contractor, whatever. So I'm probably going to overlap quite a bit with this internet and the internet, but I think that's okay because with the world that we're doing, we need internet connections. It's a must have. Now, Doc, one thing you might not know about is that T-Mobile has a backup internet plan. And so if your main internet wherever to go out, you could still have access. And it's only $20 a month for having this backup internet. And I thought that was really interesting, especially considering how much hell I had with MediaCom before, where my internet would go out for weeks at a time. And there was a couple of times where it went out for a whole month, Doc. Like there's no internet.
No.
And so having that backup, I thought was pretty interesting.
That is interesting. That is interesting. Good to know. Helping the audience out. Maybe you should tag your local internet or anything like this.
I
Talking
need an
about this.
affiliate link for them. Oh, this is probably the only place I could probably say it without it sounding boastful. But in the last month, I made over $200 with affiliate marketing.
That's a big deal. That's a
Yeah.
big deal.
And that was Opus Clip and Nuelink, the two tools I promote the most. But it was one of those things where I was like, oh, this is really, it's a very satisfying moment. And it made me realize I need to get off my butt and start making more posts and promoting these stuff.
Yeah. Stop it. Stop it.
Start it.
Yeah, start it. On that note, I have to go into another meeting, but we will catch up soon. And as always, it's great to see you, man.
Always.